Hey everybody, welcome back, finally, to Mario Movie Updates. Now, it's been over a year since the last episode, but as you can imagine, it would have been tricky to keep the series going after the Super Mario Bros. Movie finally came out. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to talk about updates for a movie that's already been released. There's not really much else to say after that. I mean, the only way I could keep this show going would be if another Super Mario Bros. Movie was on the way. And sure enough, Mario Day just came and went, and to celebrate, Nintendo released a bunch of exciting Mario-related announcements through their online platforms and other partners. But of course, the reason why we're here is because of a slightly bigger and less surprising announcement they made. In a special Mario Day video released on Nintendo and Illumination's YouTube channels, Shigeru Miyamoto and Illumination head Chris Meledandri officially confirmed that a new Super Mario Bros. Movie is in the works. Nintendo and Illumination are going to be working closely together on it once again. Matthew Fogel is back to write the screenplay. Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek are set to return as directors. Storyboards and environmental designs are already being done. Animation is set to begin soon. And the new movie is going to be coming out on April 3rd, 2026 in the US and throughout the same month in other parts of the world. Now, I said this was the least surprising announcement to come from the celebration because I think everybody knew that a Mario movie sequel was in the works, not just because the post-credits scene of the first movie hinted at it, but the first movie was also a huge financial success. It broke countless box office records. Nevertheless, this is still very exciting. I mean, there were aspects of the first movie that I didn't love, but I loved the way that it brought this world and these characters to life, and for the most part, it gave me the kind of Mario movie that I always wanted to see. I mean, just the fact that Nintendo is taking more chances on bringing their properties to the big screen is exciting in its own right. I mean, back in November, we got the news of there being a live-action Zelda movie in the works at Sony Pictures, and now we have this second Mario movie coming out. But one thing that caught everybody's attention, and already has speculation ramping up, is the fact that neither Miyamoto or Meledandri referred to this movie as a sequel. They simply described it as a new film that takes place in the same universe as the first movie. Now, people are wondering if this is actually going to be a sequel or if it'll be a spin-off. I'm led to believe it'll be a sequel since the same team that worked on the first movie is also going to be involved in this new film. It could also just be an entirely new story that doesn't necessarily continue from where the first movie left off, but could sort of be like Black Panther Wakanda Forever, where it focuses more on the world of the Mushroom Kingdom and the people that live in it. But just when I thought that was all I was going to have to cover for this video, about 6 hours after the announcement was made, not even a whole day after this announcement was made, there was already a major leak. In response to an official tweet from Nintendo's UK-based Twitter account about the Mario movie follow-up, a user by the name of Cartoon Updates posted a storyboard panel that supposedly was done for this new movie. Now, I've been duped multiple times in the build-up to the first movie, but I'm led to believe that this is actually real, and I have my reasons as to why. Now, there are 2 watermarks on the image. I'm not actually going to show the image here because I don't want to get in trouble with any of Nintendo or Universal's lawyers. I'll describe the image later, but I'm just going to give a couple details for now that kind of help add to its legitimacy. Now, the watermark on the bottom reads, Illumination Entertainment, property of Universal. And this is common for work-in-progress footage on any production, whether it be animated or live action. And then there's another watermark on the image that uses the name Melody Wang. Now, I've seen a lot of behind-the-scenes footage on the production of animated films, and I can't recall ever seeing storyboards watermarked with the name of the person that drew them, but I assume that since the movie is still early in production, artists might have their names put on the scenes they're given so that the directors or producers can keep track of who's assigned to which scene when they're watching back their progress to make notes on it and stuff like that. Now, as to who exactly this Melody Wang is, well, after doing some research, I found that this artist has worked on movies like Nimona for Blue Sky, and she'd also been employed by Illumination to be a story artist. And then I came across her website where I found that she had posted a storyboard reel for an undisclosed Illumination project, which apparently seems to include this leaked storyboard. I also noticed that users had to enter a password to even watch it, which might explain how Cartoon Updates managed to get the storyboard in the first place. Maybe they have a password, or maybe they used some sort of program to generate a password that would let them get in and access it. But what I think further proves its legitimacy is that Cartoon Updates took the picture down in response to a report from the copyright holder. And usually when something like that happens, it means that the leaked material is real. Like if you recall back in 2014, when footage of the 3DS version of Smash 4 was getting out there, Nintendo went and unleashed a bunch of DMCA takedowns. And this was all footage leaking characters that hadn't been revealed yet, like Bowser Jr. and the Duck Hunt dog. And at the time, before the takedowns, people didn't know if it was real or not, but once the takedowns started happening, then that basically proved to people that yes, it was real. So if you ask me, I think this storyboard is real. Now, I managed to save the image before it was taken down, but like I said, I'm not going to show it in this video for the sake of copyright. But just to describe it, it features Mario and Luigi walking through what looks like an outdoor marketplace while wearing hooded robes. Initially, this led me to believe that they could be going somewhere that requires them to be in disguise, but more likely they're in some sort of desert location, and the robes are just to protect them from the weather conditions. We saw Toaster Arena in the first movie, which was also the only desert-like location visible on the Toad Council's map of the Mushroom Kingdom. So this scene could be taking place there, or maybe this isn't even in the Mushroom Kingdom at all. And the Mushroom Kingdom is only one of many kingdoms that exist in this world, along with the Jungle Kingdom. So we could be seeing another part of the world, like maybe a location based on Dry Dry Desert from Paper Mario, or Shy Guy Bazaar from Mario Kart 7, or maybe even Sarasaland. I don't think I'm going to be able to predict the entire plot of the movie just based on this image, but if this is any indication as to what the next movie is going to be like, it definitely seems like it's going to be a sequel if it features both Mario and Luigi, because if the brothers are going to be featured prominently in it, then I honestly can't really imagine it being anything but a sequel. But yeah, there's already so much to unpack from just these past couple of days. I was going to get this video out sooner, but then the storyboard leak happened, so I had to add a section dedicated to that. So basically, a new Mario movie is coming, and Nintendo and Illumination are being a little coy about whether or not it's actually a sequel. Regardless, a new Mario movie is coming, and that is just very exciting to me. I can't wait to see more of this world. I can't wait to see how they interpret other Mario characters. I can't wait to see more of the Mushroom Kingdom. I can't wait to see more worlds, and there's just so much to be excited about. And I have ideas for what I think a second Mario movie should be like, but that's a whole other topic worthy of a video all its own. I do, however, want to touch on a couple of things that I don't just want the next movie to do, but I also think need to be done. First, and probably most importantly, Luigi needs to be more involved in the action. I didn't mind the idea for the first movie to have Mario rescue Luigi instead of Princess Peach, because narratively it makes more sense, but they didn't really give Luigi a lot to do and just had him sit around and wait for Mario to save him, which I felt was a bit of a missed opportunity, especially being a fan of the Super Mario Adventures comics. But as I mentioned, that leaked storyboard that came out does show Mario and Luigi together, so hopefully that implies that we're going to be seeing them go on some big grand adventure together. And if so, then that's a step in the right direction. Now, pertaining to the story, and I'm sure some of you might feel the same way when I say this, I think they should give it a little more depth. Now, I'm not expecting something super complex or thought-provoking. They should keep things simple, but it still needs to elevate the first movie to some degree. And the plot should have a couple more layers to it, and the characters need to grow in some way. Whether that involves giving Mario and Luigi a different set of challenges to overcome, or going deeper into Peach's backstory that was kind of touched on in the first movie but never really elaborated on. And the only other thing I want to talk about for this video is, I mentioned before that I was excited to see how they interpret other Mario characters in this world, in this universe, in this art style. But I think it's important that they avoid overstuffing the movie with too many characters. And obviously there are characters I'd like to see, but they need to serve a purpose, and they can't just be added for the sake of making fans happy. Like, if Wario and Waluigi end up appearing in the second movie, that'll be awesome. But if they don't really serve a purpose in the greater narrative, then it's not really worth it if you ask me. I do have other ideas for what I think a sequel could be like, so if that's a video that you guys would be interested in seeing, then let me know in the comments. But for right now, that's everything we know about this new Super Mario Bros. Movie that's coming out. We know when it's coming, we know who's working on it, we know that a story is apparently already locked in, if they're already doing storyboards and environment designs. As for everything else, we don't really know as of now. But this sort of feels like the beginning of another exciting journey for us to go on. I started this series because of how excited I was for the first movie. That was a 5-year journey from when the movie was first announced to when it was released. Thankfully, the journey this time won't be as long since we only have to wait 2 years for this movie to come out. But I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to going on this journey with all of you. So I have to ask, how excited are you for this new movie? There isn't a lot to work off of right now, but are you still excited either way, or are you just going to wait for more information to come out before you really come to a full opinion? However you feel, let me know in the comments. And before I go, I want to give a special thank you to my superstar supporters for this month: Red Rack, Henry Newman, and Jake Winans. Now, with that said, this is Mark bidding you all a smashing farewell. Be good, behave, be safe, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.